Hi, I'm Reed Farrel Coleman, the author of Robert B. Parker's Blind Spot, and I'm here today with William Lashner, the author of the Victor Carl series, and Harry Hunsicker, the author of the John Cantrell series. We're here to discuss Good Guys Gone Bad, and were they ever really good, and what do you think, William?
Well, everyone's always good at the start. There's something turns in them, I'm wondering what. That's the issue.
I think characters do start out good, but most believable characters have to be both good and bad. There has to be good and bad in both.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember who said this to me, but it was early on. No bad guy, even the worst bad guy, sees himself as bad. Everybody, when they look in the mirror in the morning, is the hero of their own story.
That's exactly right.
Hannibal Lecter had admirable goals there at one point.
Right, he was
Can't
a
remember what
therapist.
they are.
He was a doctor.
Well, you know, I teach a college class about this stuff, and I always say, who is the worst person in Silence of the Lambs? So let me do that with you guys. Your vote for the worst person.
It has to be Hannibal Lecter, but I see there's a case to be made for Buffalo Bill too.
Right.
I mean, but he was manipulated, so it's
Right. It is. I think it's the one who's like using the power, which is what Hannibal Lecter. He's all about power.
And you see, and I'll use your criteria, and I'll tell you that I think it's Dr. Chilton, who is by far the biggest bully, and who uses his power in absolutely cruel ways. Because in some ways, Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter are prisoners of their own psychology. So, you know, we've talked a little bit about what makes good and evil, and the transition from good to evil, and the sort of shades of gray. But why don't you each name your favorite good guy gone bad?
my favorite good guy gone bad is High Plains Drifter, the man with no name from the Clint Eastwood movie. I mean, he was a good guy. He was the sheriff, right? And they killed him. And then he came back kind of as a ghost type of a situation, and he wreaked havoc on the town, on the people who had abandoned him.
Right.
So, I mean, there's evil and good. I mean, it's the duality of the human experience.
That's what's cool about the High Plains. He's the perfect kind of shades of gray guy. And this is what Lee Child picked up on with Jack Reacher. Right. He's the guy who comes into town, solves your problem, but maybe not the way that you would have liked the problem to be solved.
Yeah, the Jack Reacher series is the heir apparent to the Dirty Harry and to the all that the revenge stuff of the 1970s.
And William, what's your pick for a good guy gone bad?
Well, I was thinking of Raskolnikov, which is he was the murderer in Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, and he thinks of himself as not just a good guy, but almost better than a good guy. Poverty gets him down, and he starts reading the wrong philosophies, and he starts thinking himself superior to others. And in his head, he thinks he didn't do anything wrong, and bit by bit, he breaks down when he starts realizing what happened. The nice thing about Raskolnikov is he started falling apart even before he was caught. He realized what he had done was completely out of bounds.
Okay, now I'm really going to get wacky because I'm going to say Godzilla.
That's great. I love that one.
Godzilla.
Please explain, Reed.
Yes, well, he had read bad philosophers. He was a sleeping giant awoken from the deep that basically was an agent of revenge, and here we are back at revenge.
Revenge, yeah.
I'm not sure Godzilla would see himself anyway, good or bad, but just the instrument of retribution. I think the Japanese actually, although their town, it was always Tokyo that had the havoc wreaked upon it, I think the Japanese would have rooted for Godzilla.
I think so. In the new Godzilla movie, he actually is the hero. He's the one who saves the world.
I don't think Godzilla has much self-awareness.
No. Well, maybe he does. It's reading those bad Russian philosophers.
There's something about stepping on a building that I think is great. It's so satisfactory.
So thank you, gentlemen. On behalf of Harry Hunsicker and William Lashner, I'm Reed Farrel Coleman for Kindle Most Wanted. Thank you for watching.